Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video. On our podcast the other day, I talked about my Kylo Ren Count Dooku deck and how great it's actually been. So I decided to go ahead and do a gameplay video with it and show you guys how it works. So it looks like I'm going up against Luke and Padme. It's Elite Luke single die Padme, which is a very interesting take. It's like Luke Akbar, only without all the healing. But Padme still does have that double focus side, and she has a little bit of mill. I have a deck actually very similar to this to myself, so I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to expect here. But with Dooku Kylo, it's just a lot of health, lots of good upgrades, lots of solid dice. I'm really into 4 dice decks right now. So I think we're in pretty good shape here, and it should be interesting to see how this deck plays out. I'm not sure why he's mulliganing with his card faces up. Don't do that if you're on here. Flip them ahead of time so that your opponent doesn't know what's in your deck. All right. Last thing, he's using the Emperor's Throne Room. That's a little bit scary. A little bit scary, I got to admit. All right, we got our Holocron right off. That's a huge boon. Power of the Force is more of a late game card. Mind Trick isn't that great. And Deflect is just straight bad in this matchup since he doesn't have range damage. So I will keep the Force Choke because, well, hey, it's a free upgrade if I get it. Oh, we got the Saber. Kylo Saber is so good. And here's the deal. I will not be putting anything on our boy Kylo. It's just all gonna. I'm not sure what's going on. He's mulliganing a second time or something. I don't know what's happening here, but whatever. It's fine. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy talking. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, when I watch the video, I'll have a better idea of what just happened there. But that's okay. We've got a great hand anyway. I really don't care what he does at this point. Opening turn Holocron means one of two things. One, we're going to get a lot of free stuff out of it. Two, he will have to use removal on the Holocron. So either way, it's a win. Alright, we're not going to win the battlefield. It's funny, with 4 dice you would think you would win a lot. We really don't. Because there's the special on Kylo. So you don't normally get. I'm not sure why he would be upset with 8. Okay, so he's going first. That's great. What this means is we get to put our shields on on Dooku. When you put shields on Dooku, your opponent goes like this. Yeah, I'm not going for Dooku. By the way, if you haven't come by the Patreon Tiny Grimes page, stop by. I've got all kinds of cool stuff happening there. I'm trying to have more content for non-subscribers as well, just so that we have more discussions happening there. If there's anything you want me to talk about over there, that'd be great as well. But got all kinds of fun stuff happening. Ooh, he's ditching. Don't get cocky. That's interesting. Okay, let's just go ahead and stick our Holocron on Dooku. And Holocron on Dooku. Yeah, good luck. Like that's pretty sick. A shielded Dooku with a Holocron turn 1 means huge advantage. Ooh, he's got a Force Throw though. That's a really, really big right out of the gate kind of card. That's very scary for me. Not thrilled to see that, but that's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and roll out. Boy, you know what? That is so scary with that battlefield. Oh my goodness, that just really upped the scariness. It's a little bit tempting to just take the resources, grab Kylo's Saber, and then cheer wildly. That's pretty solid. Let's see what he gets here, though. If he gets something really disgusting, then it's going to be difficult. He did not. That's about the worst roll he could possibly have. He's got a couple rerolls, though, so we can't really start cheering yet. Wow, what a weird opening turn. I could pick up 3 more resources. He's not going to use the Force Throw for resources, right? Or those. He is. He's going to take resources with Luke. Wow. This is not a great idea. Unless he's planning to mill me, I don't think he can do that. I think I need to kill Luke. I think that's what I'm looking at. That was such a weak start on his part and having the force throw not come up, I think I can just go for it. The cool thing is I can trigger the battlefield to swap out the holocron, which I'll probably end up doing. Unless he does it really quick here. There's a very good chance I'm going to swing my damage. Okay. So, ooh, we need that on Luke. We need that on Luke. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, you can't put the shields on Luke. I'm not sure what he's doing. Okay, there he goes. He's putting the shields down. So the thing was, with my deck, I don't really care that much if my opponent has shields. Like, shields don't scare me all that much. The other really cool thing about this deck is it doesn't have a ton of modified damage. So when you roll damage, you just can resolve it, and you don't have to worry about anything happening. So it's quite nice. I really like just resolving as it comes. If I'm not playing, I'm playing super fast, because then they can't disrupt it as easily. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of things he could do, but he could do crazy plays like scramble, and I get hit and burned by scramble a lot because I consider it to be awful, and so then I don't really see it coming, and then it wrecks my face. Okay, so here's the issue. I think he's only going to resolve that special, and his turn is over. So if I flip something with Dooku, it's kind of pointless. I think the best thing to do is just take the battlefield now, trigger the holocron, and put the force choke in. It is wasting damage potentially, and maybe he would have done that thing, but I really don't. I don't think so. No Mercy's not that bad. I wouldn't have minded it here because it would probably be nice to kill Luke with it. But if I get down Kylo's saber on Dooku early, I'm probably okay here. All right, I'm quite tempted to overwrite. I'm in such an interesting spot here. I kind of want to keep them all, so I'm going to. Especially since he might be milling. Alright, so I'm just going to... Like, the smart play is to beat his force throw to the board. I'm not going to play the smart play. And I'm going to admit to him that I probably don't have removal right now. I just want the sheer power. I feel like if I get that much sheer power on the board, especially if that holocron hits and the mind probe pops in, I mean, he's already got 3 damage on Luke. He's missing the healing in this deck. Shields won't be as relevant because I have Kylo's saber. I think I'm in a good spot. Oh, that's right. Now I can always just resolve the holocron by grabbing the battlefield to get a mind probe, and then immediately next turn roll out a buffed up Dooku. Okay, that's kind of scary. If he actually has something for that, that's kind of terrifying. Again, smart play might be to beat that force throw out, but I really want the holocron out since I can do the little special trick. And it might have been better just to roll him out and then play it on Kylo. I just so rarely play stuff on Kylo that I didn't even consider that, and it was probably right here. Alright, he missed it anyway. The 3 damage is fine. I mean, if he throws it at Dooku, I don't care. If he throws it at Kylo, Kylo's job is to die anyway and, you know, do what he can on his way out the door. So that's not a good roll, but it's still 3 damage, and he still has to deal with it. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. He got it. What is it? Is it a saber? Oh, it's a force training. Okay. So Padme is looking pretty decent here. So he didn't have removal here, right? So he would have used it. So that means we are fine with just doing a reroll. So we're going to reroll these guys. The reason I'm re-rolling rather than doing Kylo is for exactly that. I wanted to be able to have the Force Choke. The Force Choke gives me options. It probably means he's going to resolve Luke's die now. Oh, and he's going for him. Interesting. It's just too much. He couldn't resist it. All right, so we're going to swing for... What is that? Is that +2 only? So 5 on Luke. So Luke's up to 8. I don't know about this. Luke's in big trouble. He is going for Dooku, which is both smart and ridiculous, right? Because Dooku had the 2 shields, so it's going to be really hard to actually kill Dooku. But at the same time, if he is able to kill Dooku, he'll be in amazing shape because I've got all my eggs in that basket right now. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we are going to take the damage because he's going to flip Luke's die to the 3. I'm going to spin it to a blank, and then he's going to come back and flip it back to the 3. So that's kind of frustrating. It means we either take 3 damage or give up our Mind Probe, and neither of them are all that appealing. Unless we get crazy, give up the Mind Probe, and flip Kylo's to a special. Because if he's playing Force is strong, that means he might have like a Mind Probe in his hand that he's saving, or one with the Force, and that would just kill. It would just kill Luke. Actually, oh my goodness. I think we're gonna do that. It's crazy. That's what is happening here. Okay, there we go. All right, so all we have to do is hit a 3. Now, the odds are not tremendous that we'll hit a 3, but the odds aren't terrible either. It's such an interesting question here. What do I go for? Do I go for broke and try to kill him right here? Woo! I don't have that. My balls aren't that big is the problem. I'm just like a regular guy with regular size balls. I don't think I can do it. I think the smart play is to just go like this. Do that. Put the Mind Probe in. And then have this just bananas start to the next turn. Like, that roll is just going to be crazy. I get to go first. The odds that I don't kill Luke, I feel like, are pretty low. If I kill Luke and Dooku has 8 health and Kylo's untouched, I win. Simple as that. So he takes the money, he passes, we move on to the next turn, and I'm looking pretty darn good here. Oh, he's re-rolling. That's a weird re-roll. Especially there. What, best case is 1. He got it. He got the 1. He got the best case, the 1 in 6. I mean, the funny thing about that is, if he was going to discard that card anyway, it's totally worth it, right? Like, why not? Why not just go for it? It just looks funny because, you know, is he not going to, he didn't resolve it. That seems odd. What? I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not sure why he didn't want to resolve that. I think I'm going to make him resolve it. Now, if I was in a tournament, of course, I would say, okay, cool, he did something ridiculous. But, you know, in this setting, I don't, okay. I don't, yes, I did, no. I don't know what's happening here. Let's just give him the damage because we want to have some form of test here. Okay, moving on. I'm just gonna assume you want to damage me. I know he's not. He's like adamant. I did not want to damage you, but I'm taking the damage anyway because it's. I don't know what to say, right? What do you mean you didn't want to damage me? There's no upside to not damaging Dooku. Oh, that's not perfect though. If he can interrupt that one die, then I don't kill Luke. So I didn't roll. Oh, wait. We didn't roll out the mind probe. I was going to say, it seemed unusual that with all that. Okay, now he's dead. Now he's dead. If he mind tricks us, he's dead. If he does anything, he's dead. And that's the game. Once Luke dies, this game is over. His only hope is to play one with the Force right now, and then hope that carries that really weak Padme through. I don't think it will. I don't think that Padme is going to be strong enough. Okay, that'd be fine too. He should overwrite if he's going to do that. I mean, he has to play something here, right? He has to play a saber or one with the Force, or the game ends. He knows that as well. He's trying to figure out the best way to do it. He should have overwrote though. Like, there's no reason to spend. Oh, okay. Nope. He's spending the resources. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because he's gonna die either way. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spend the 3 actually this way, kill him. And the reason I'm doing it like that instead of the mind probe first is that it forces him to play a card in a spot where he probably doesn't want to. He's got his Padme loaded up now with 3 upgrades. He might just want to roll Padme out, and now he's kind of stuck where he's not playing a card. See, there we go. He didn't have a card to play. I just don't think he can kill Dooku and Kylo before I can kill Padme, and he's not milling me, so that's an irrelevant point. Ooh, that was a good roll. No blanks, so I can't do crazy things. I think I'm just gonna have to take 3 on the chin, which is really only 2, so it should be fine. Just go ahead and mind probe. Tell me what's in your mind. I believe it's damage. I believe she has damage on her mind, and trying to figure out how to take less. All right. Oh yeah, right. Flipping to the +2. That works. That's a lot of damage on Dooku in one fell swoop. Why didn't I resolve Dooku's other die when I was resolving the one? This is the problem sometimes with playing on a tabletop simulator. The dice are small. I just, for a second there, it wasn't obvious that was the damage. So that's a whoopsies. I'm not playing on like a 50-inch monitor here. I'm also not playing my best right now because the game is so far out of hand. That's not a smart play there. So the reason why that's not a good flip to the special is because if he goes to +2, okay, he didn't want to flip the other one. Interesting. If he goes to +2 there, then he can at least do 4 damage to Dooku. Whereas this way, he actually only does 2 damage to Dooku. That's a huge difference, right? Like, 4 means maybe he kills him. Like, there's actually a shot he kills him. 2 means Dooku's not dying. Like, this was his one shot to really do enough damage to make me worry. Like, 1 shield is not worth it, I don't think. Does this mean he's damaging him? Okay. Discard for the damage. And a resource. Okay. So then the question becomes, do I do force powers? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna kill Padme. Yeah, that works. So we'll swing for 3. And that works pretty well. Alright, so I'll discard this. Which maybe looks crazy, but I kind of want to keep the mind trick in case he does something wild. So 3 more puts her at 5. That's going to be 1 more, so she's going to go to 6. She probably dies pretty early next turn. Okay, if he resolves that, that does not work out very well for him. I think he wants to take the battlefield here. I don't think he wants me continually going first with the kind of rolls that I can get. If he can go first, maybe he has a force misdirect that he can grab that can really mess with me, things like that. But I guess we'll see. What does he have up his sleeve here? Okay, he is going to claim. I think that's a smart play. By him claiming, it leaves me in an interesting spot of, I think I re-roll Dooku, actually. As much as I kind of like this, even 1 damage is significant. 2 would be very significant. Blank, not so significant. And I'm going to keep the anger. I think anger's good enough with all those dice that he's rolling to warrant keeping. Like 1 damage, I don't think was worth the anger. 2 maybe, but the odds aren't amazing that I get it. With 2 disrupt possibilities here, or dice mitigation with isolation and anger, I mean, he was already in a horrible spot. I think that should ice it. Discarding everything, huh? Deflect goes, smuggling a bunch of stuff he doesn't need, basically. So a misdirect here could be really good if he can roll right. I may just pluck all of his dice off this turn if I'm able to. The one I don't care about is Padme's unless it rolls up as the focus. If it's the focus, I'll pluck it with isolation. But otherwise, isolation's not going to do a whole lot here. Oh, okay. That's a smart play. Get that cunning on the board. Cunning is really strong. Alright. So the only problem with that play is it lets me do this and put a significant amount of pressure on him. Really, if anything hits, he's in big trouble. It means he can't force misdirect me. More importantly than that is that he can't bluff that he has it. Well, I mean, when you roll like that, that opens the door, right? Although, I can just grab the battlefield, mind probe him, and win the game. Just instantly. That's one of the powers of mind probe being on the table with that battlefield. So, I mean, this is game. He doesn't realize it's game because he feels like he has to roll a card, so... And that's game. So, thanks so much for watching the video. My apologies for being so lopsided. But this deck is very strong. Kylo Dooku. I'll be publishing it on SW Destiny DB soon, I'm sure. I've been really liking the deck. I'm frankly a little bit surprised. I'm not a huge mono fan. Like anytime I have blue, I'm like, why don't I have villain yellow too? I get backup muscle, electroshock, and he doesn't like you. And instead of all of those, I'm getting Kylo Ren. Like that just feels weird to me. But Kylo's dice are not as bad as I was originally thinking. If people go for him over Dooku, I'm very happy about that. He's enough of a threat where most people do go for him. If they do go for Dooku, I can still put all those awesome blue upgrades on Kylo and have this exact scenario only on Kylo. So I'm really liking the deck. Give it a try if you haven't tried it yet. I think you'll like it. And I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.